What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast, where we try hard, just like your mom on a Friday night. I'm Alan.
I'm RT.
How you
What's
doing,
up?
buddy?
Trying to just get a little sip here, and you're attacking my mother all of a sudden.
She's a nice lady. I'd like to take her to a nice seafood dinner and never call her again.
She is a nice
Never.
lady. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So fantasy it's football eve. Like
Yeah.
we got
Yeah.
football tomorrow. Real football that matters, that counts. That and they're kicking off with a bang, right? We got the Chiefs and we got the Ravens. Um, Super excited about this week one game. But with that comes fantasy football. Our
Yeah.
drafts are done. Our leagues are set. We got to start getting our lineups ready. But let's kind of take a look at our rosters, right? We're gonna talk about some players that we have rostered, um, and how we feel.
Yeah.
What picks did we like? What picks did we not like? I know, like for example, like we were doing we were doing a dynasty league with Dylan Busby over there at Mostly Football,
Hmm.
and that draft was Sunday afternoon. And when the draft had started, I was in my car, and so I had it up as I was trying to get to my. I was actually driving to another draft as this draft started, and somehow my thing switched to auto during it.
Oh.
And I'm not upset about the pick I got.
Hmm.
Um, it auto drafted T Higgins for me.
That's your
Which
first pick.
no, it wasn't my first pick. It was like my
Okay.
fifth pick or something like that. I
Okay.
don't remember what pick it was.
I was so
Yeah,
confused. I
no,
was like, what?
it was
First pick, T. Higgins? I don't think that's right.
no. I took St. Brown with my first pick. Uh, Eighth pick. Got him. But
Okay.
I was gonna draft Xavier Worthy
Hmm.
because
I got
again this is a dynasty league, right?
you. Hmm.
Let's draft a guy that you're expecting an upside from this season and going forward.
Right. Right.
But it drafted T Higgins for me, and I'm not upset about that pick, right? I'm okay with it. And then I think Worthy went off the board with like the next pick,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, oh well,
Which is
you
wild
know.
they're close together like that. But so real quick, how many leagues are you in? How many dynasty? How many redraft? How many like PPR, Superflex? Give us a rundown real quick.
Okay, so I'm in 3 dynasty leagues.
Okay.
Um, One, this is the first year, the one we're in with Dylan.
Okay.
It's the first year for this league. This was the inaugural draft, 27, 29 rounds, however many rounds it was,
Yeah.
which was a little excessive, but
A
hey,
bit.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and then I've got two that I've been a part of. I've been a part of for 4 years now, and one this is my second season, and one that you're in with Henson. And then as far as just regular leagues that I'm in, the rest are all over there in Yahoo, and I've got hold on here. 2, 3, 4, 5.
You're gonna be in
5.
one more because the Beard Law leagues hasn't started. It won't start till like week 3 because it's a survivor league, right? And we
Okay.
just didn't have enough for 18 weeks or whatever. So he's like, "Yeah, don't worry, we're gonna do it." I'm pretty sure it's an auto draft. It just throws you players, and then you just
Okay.
work off of that, which is fine. It doesn't really matter
Yeah.
because you can make some moves. Limited bench too, so there's players to be found. And of course, as soon as they get wiped out, whoever all these players hit the market and everybody goes ape ass. So, but yeah,
Yeah, and that's and I've actually got some ideas for some leagues for like possibly next year that I want to throw out there, bits and fun stuff. One is a trade league that where when you beat someone, you get a player from their team,
oh
and then you
nice.
have to but you have to do a trade. So you can take any player off their roster, but you have to replace it with someone from the same position from your roster. So if you beat a guy and he's got Pat Mahomes, you take Pat Mahomes and you trade off whatever quarterback that you have, right?
You can trade like Justin Fields or something. Like if you just
Yeah.
have like a Derek
If you
Carr
have
or something.
Justin Fields on there, you can trade Justin Fields for Pat
Oof,
Mahomes.
that is brutal, man. Brutal. Absolutely. Did you do any auction drafts
No,
this year?
no auctions.
Nice.
I've got a couple leagues that I did bits in. I've got three of my Yahoo leagues are bit leagues. One I drafted a kicker in the defense in the first 2 rounds. One I went with the hero RB strategy where I drafted running backs in the first 2 rounds, and then I went with the zero RB strategy where I didn't draft a running back until the 6th or 7th round. I can't remember.
Nice. Real
So
nice.
How about you? How many you win?
I think I'm in 3 in Yahoo, 1 in ESPN, 1 in Sleeper, and 1 in CBS. So the Sleeper and the CBS ones, we just you just talked about it. Those
Right.
are both dynasty leagues that we're in. Obviously, I had to do my cousin redraft league on ESPN, which is I think it's standard. So I always get screwed up in that thing because as I'm picking like PPR because all my other leagues are PPR or Superflex, and then our strikeout beer, our SB Fantasy Football, our home league for here now is Superflex, super crazy scoring. Someone else mentioned points per carry and also bonuses for like first downs that you can add in there. So that's something we need to look at.
Oh yeah, we
'Cause
can add more
we
next
have a
year.
ton of fun in this league, and the scores are astronomical. They're so hilarious, but they're fun. It does keep it fun, I'll tell you that. But obviously our home league, Gangsta, that's the league that got me into fantasy football. That's the one we always had the most fun at. And but yeah, I mean that one's a redraft, one keeper redraft, and but yeah, no, I mean that's so I have a full plate. I don't like the fact that it's 4 or 5 apps. I wish they were all on Yahoo. I don't like ESPN very much. Yahoo changed their format on their app. I don't like that either, but it is what it is. And then we're in the Pick'em League, so we're
Yeah,
busy. We're busy little boys around
we're
the
so
football
busy.
season.
This will be my first season doing a league in Sleeper, so we'll see how that goes. As of just first glance, I don't really like the interface at all, but
The
we'll see
app
how
is
it goes.
different than so if you get online, it looks a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. The app has all their DFS in there as well, and so it just kind of clutters up what you're trying to do. You can't really see, but I got it pulled up right here. Got the league. I'm like, okay, here's all my guys. Then you can click on matchup, league, team, players, trends. I do like the trend, I think, but most apps have that anyways, like who's picking up who. And
Right.
but yeah, well, I mean, we had all our drafts. Everybody's drafted. Game time tomorrow. How are you feeling about your teams?
I feel great. I
Yeah,
just,
you say that every year though.
just, but I I drive so damn well.
I
Like
guess so.
I
It's
just
not your fault that you lose every year. It's your players.
I don't lose. I lose in some leagues, but I win in some leagues.
It's a numbers
Um,
game.
it's exactly. But I just feel really well about my teams this year. Like I feel like I did good. I did good.
Who's the
Um,
player that you drafted kind of towards the top that you're slightly nervous about or nervous at all? Like it's just someone that you're like, what if it doesn't go right? I have a lot of that, and I can give you an example of mine. In the Strikeout Beer League, I got tasked with like I think pick number 7 or whatever it was, and so I had to pick Justin Jefferson. I was like, I can't ignore the talent. I got to get him, but he is one of the guys that I'm like, I was actually avoiding in like most leagues, and I was like,
I,
shit, I got to do it. I was like, I got to pick him. He's right here. People behind him suck too, and I'm like, screw it, we got to do it.
yeah, I mean, I had several picks like that where I was just like guys that I just wasn't high on, but at the point where I was drafting, like I drafted in our gangster league, I drafted Tony Pollard. I don't like that pick at all. But with where I was in the draft and what was there, it was like, you know what? It was like my fourth running back, I think. So it's not like I need to play him, and he's got potential, right? Um,
Well, how about this? Since we're not going to show our screens or anything like that, let's start with like say gangster. Let's keep it in gangster. Go ahead and give me. You got your lineup there?
give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
Clicking on it right now. Yeah, yeah,
And
I
most
got it.
people should be able to figure out what round you took a lot of these people in. Like I said, it's a PPR league. It's a one keeper league, 10 team PPR. Go ahead and give us the T to B. Go through your starting lineup and then hit the bench real quick.
Justin Herbert, Drake London, Brandon Ayuk, Devonta Smith, Jameer Gibbs, Jonathan Taylor, Kyle Pitts, Amari Cooper, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Tony Pollard, Jameson Williams, Jonathan Brooks, Trey Benson, Clear Shakir, Marshawn Lloyd, Jake Legatron Bates, and the Buffalo D.
Nice. The only one when I see that, oh, it was a great pick with Amari too, because I was going to get Amari because me and Daniel were sitting there talking like the whole time, and we all three were, or both of us were about to go for him, and you got him right before us, I think, on the wraparound. Um,
Um,
I think it's a great pick, especially in the round you got him in. But the Brandon Ayuk pick, you know, I don't know. I hope he performs like we know he can. Because that's what I was boasting really high last year. I go, he's wide receiver 1. He's the top guy and all this, and then the
Yeah.
offseason shit happened. And then you're like sitting there like, okay, so how are they gonna do? Was he practicing? Was he working out? Is he ready for week 1 type thing? Or is he still got it? I mean, he got paid, so now why not ball out, right?
Yeah, I, at that point in time in the draft, there was Debo was there and Brandon Ayuk was there, and I was going to take whichever guy was there. Um, at the time, I don't think Ayuk had signed his contract just yet,
Mhm.
but if he didn't sign it, he was still going to play, right? But if he ended up getting traded somewhere, odds are he was the number one guy wherever he was going to get traded to.
Yeah,
So
and
I
it
was okay with
well
it, right? The guy's got talent. You can't deny the guy's talent.
mhm.
And with teams they were talking about possibly trading him to, I felt good about it. And now that he's there with the 49ers, I feel even better about the pick, right? I will tell you, I am nervous about one team that I kind of went hard on this year, um,
Yeah,
that I got a lot of belief in, but the Falcons.
yeah.
Uh,
We've talked
Drake
about that.
London, Kyle Pitts, Bijan. I got a league where I don't know how it happened. It just kind of happened. I have Drake London, Bijan, and Kyle Pitts. Um,
I mean, you've seen it before, and that wasn't like when we talked about. We've been doing this for a while. We've done DFS shows and things like that, and part of our Patreon too, Strikeout Beer, or Patreon.com/Strikeout Beer and stuff like that. We'll make some picks and throw it in there. It- Kirk Cousins already has shown you that he can stack. You can pick him, you can pick his receiver, you can pick his running back, and you can pick the tight end, and they're not terrible picks to
no,
stack on because he has a good game. Everybody's a benefit, right? Everybody's just balling out, going crazy, having the time of their lives, and I think that's what we both see in Atlanta this year. Like finally, these guys, the Atlanta, London, Pitts. I mean, remember when Pitts came out, all the hype around him, but couldn't get nobody to get him the ball, right? So now, coordinator, you got a new, actual, you know, quarterback
yeah,
that actually throw the ball.
right.
But sky's the limit for them.
I just if things go bad in Atlanta this year, I got there's some teams I got to pivot on, right? I didn't go hard in all my leagues, but like in this league, you know, I got Pitts and I got Drake London, right? But if things aren't working out, I can throw Amari Cooper in that Drake London spot, and I'll just get rid of Kyle Pitts and get somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I do like the Jahmyr Gibbs and I like the Jonathan Taylor. So I've been high on Jonathan Taylor as well. I think both of those guys are phenomenal. And Devonta Smith's a good pick. Drake London, like I said, like if I had to look at it, the two guys that I'm semi nervous about on your team would be Justin Herbert. We've been so high on Justin Herbert forever. We're just like, hey, he's good, he's good. And then the last couple of years, he's actually been quite bad. But I
but
think I
he's
just
had
talked myself
bad
out of
coaching, bad coaching,
maybe.
and
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh is a good coach, and Jim Harbaugh made Colin Kaepernick a Super Bowl quarterback, right? What's he gonna do with Justin Herbert? Like, I I feel there's nothing but upside there with that, especially with where I'm drafting Justin Herbert. I'm not drafting him early like I've had to in years past to get him.
Mhm.
I'm drafting him in like the 10th, 11th, 12th round.
It was
He's just
crazy how
hanging
low he
around.
dropped, you know? Him
Yeah,
and Tua, like, Tua was down there too. I was like, "What is going on?" And Tua's already proved it. He can play. I mean, when it comes around to championship, I mean, I want a championship with him. Everybody can shake their head or whatever they want. I mean, he was my quarterback, during that. But anyways, moving on. Let's take a look at mine real quick. I got CJ Stroud, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Roma Dunze, James Cook, Joe Mixon, Evan Ingram, Deontay Johnson as my starters. On the bench, I got Najee Harris, Chase Brown, Jordan Love, J.K. Dobbins, Tyler Lockett, Curtis Samuel, and Darnell Mooney. Obviously, Mooney and Dobbins were kind of throwing a dart. I think that Dobbins could be the dude out there in LA, which would help me out tremendously. But
Mooney's the number 2 guy there in Atlanta. So again, that boils down to our Atlanta conversation,
yep.
right? If Kirk Cousins does what he does, you're looking all right with that. Your bench is a little on the weak side.
Mhm.
Uh,
Thins out pretty hard.
it does. You go hard at the beginning. Now, is Jamar Chase going to play football this year? We'll see.
He's my actual concern. Like when I
Yeah.
look at my starting lineup, I'm like, okay, well, this kind of sucks because he's my keeper. That's why I traded to get him. And I was like, he's back. Burrow's back. He's my keeper. And then I got the 101. I picked CeeDee Lamb with the 101. No regrets. I'm fine with that. And
Keep
actually, if Jamar Chase, even if Jamar Chase goes down now, I'm like, okay, well, I still have a 101. I still have a number one receiver.
right.
But yeah, I like my running backs. They're fine. Like my tight end. And then Deontay Johnson, he might be stepping up this week if Jamar Chase don't play. He's going to be my RB1 or my wide receiver 2, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Um,
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I do have Tyler Lockett that could fill in the flex, Najee Harris, Curtis
I
Samuel. Those are the
I'm
guys I'm
nervous
gonna.
about Tyler Lockett this year.
Oh yeah.
His numbers have starting to go. They've been going down. This is Jackson Smith and Jigba's second year in the league. I look for him to kind of take that role over as the number 2 guy there, and it to be DK Metcalf and Jackson Smith, and then Tyler Lockett's just kind of along for the ride,
He
right?
really is.
That's
He's
a guy
getting
that
old.
I typically like the draft,
Mhm.
but I didn't do it this year. I went Jackson Smith and Jigba. Because I've got him in this league and I've got him in a couple other leagues. I was getting him later in the draft, and for the type of production I'm kind of hoping I'm going to get out of him this year, I think he was kind of a little bit of a steal where I was drafting him.
Yeah, I got Lockett super low. Nobody wanted him either, and I was like, I can't turn my back on him real quick. Could you rate my team? You got to send it over there, George, if you want us to rate it, or you can write in the if you want to write it in the chat, we'll rate it.
Throw it in there.
But yeah, so with Tyler, I threw a dart at him, like maybe, but yeah, you're right. I mean, he's going to be filler. He'll get his passes PPR. He's going to get his 7 to 10. Hopefully, I mean, some days I might need him to get 12 to 15 points, but how I'm using him, yeah, he's going to be flex material. He's nothing there. All right, real quick, just because we're about 16 minutes into this, and we got Strikeout Beer coming up here at 8 p.m. Central Time. It'll be here on YouTube as well. Let's go ahead and flip over to our actual league here, our SB Fantasy Football League. Now, this is a super flex 10-teamer. Did we get to 12? Did we do 12 teams?
We did 12. We got 12.
Well, so it was we did the live broadcast last week. Lots of fun. Big league, a lot of points. Going down your roster, let's see what we got there.
Josh Allen, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Jameer Gibbs, Ramondre Stevenson, Kyle Pitts. There I go, doubling up again. Javonte Williams, Justin Herbert are my starters. On my bench, I got Deshaun Watson, Jameson Williams, Jerome Ford, Blake Corum, Keon Coleman, Jerry Jeudy, and Tyrone Tracy. Kicker is Jake Legatron Bates, and I got the Minnesota defense because in week 1 they are playing the New York Football Giants.
Nice. There you go. I got text message about cars being towed out of my house. Now we did go, since it was a, super flex league, me and you, we did go quarterback. Wait, no. Did you go quarterback or just one?
I went quarterback.
And then Drake London?
No, then Jameer.
Oh, Jameer. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Allen, Jameer, and I think it had a couple other picks, and then I got Justin Herbert because he's falling.
Let's rate this team real quick for George.
All right.
I'll put it on the screen for you.
You want me? Okay. Murray, Barkley, Gibbs, Moore, Waddle, Kittle, Flex, Javonte, Jason Sanders in the Cowboys defense, bench, Kirk Cousins, Brian Robinson, Trey Benson, Corum, Jalen Wright, Flowers, Adonai Mitchell, and Brian Thomas Jr. 12-team standard.
Okay, standard.
I don't like Kyler. That's a guy I'm not high on this year. I was talking to Cole about this this weekend. When did we all of a sudden get so high on Kyler Murray? I don't know.
He's not bad.
He's not good, but he's not good. I actually like Kirk Cousins more than I do Kyler Murray. He's working with a ton of weapons this year, more weapons than he's ever had. And I'm looking for Kirk Cousins to have himself a year this year. I love your backfield of Barkley and Gibbs, DJ Moore. Okay, Waddle. I love Waddle. Kittle. I think Kittle's getting a little bit long in tooth.
Yeah.
Should still produce though. I think he's got another year or 2 left. But I think he's not top 3 tight end in the league anymore. Possibly top 5.
Well,
possibly could fall in the top 5.
Looking at where you probably got him is probably good value there. I'm with you, Alan. I'm starting Cousins over Murray until Murray shows me a little something, or if they are playing a weaker team and Cousins might be playing on the road in a hostile environment or something like that. But I like Cousins in a shootout. He can ball out on you. You know what I mean? But I definitely like Barkley. We've been big fans of him. He's upgraded his situation. He's on a better team, better offensive line. They are going to utilize him, and he's not the only weapon. so the field gets opened a little bit more. The kid is amazing, and obviously I'm a big fan of Gibbs. Moore and Waddle, yeah. I mean, you really don't have a wide receiver one. I think that's the only issue I'm seeing here is that DJ Moore to me is not a wide receiver. He's on a
You
team.
don't know who's gonna get that ball there, right?
Exactly.
DJ Moore should be the number 1 there,
I
but
love
they
the
also
mustard.
drafted Rome, right? And then you got Keenan Allen. I think you got a crowded receiver room,
Mhm.
of a lot of guys who have a lot of talent, and nobody that has built up really has time with the quarterback, right? You're dealing with a rookie quarterback there. I do like Trey Benson and Blake Corum. I like those 2 guys on your bench. I think Trey Benson's gonna take over that Arizona backfield this year. And at some point in time, I expect Blake Corum to take over that Rams backfield. I feel like Blake Corum is just better than Kyron Williams in every way.
He's got
Like
one more question, then we're gonna flip back over to ours. Should I drop add Mitchell for Shaheed, Ray Davis, or Jordan Mason?
I would keep Mitchell.
Yeah, me too. I would keep him for now.
I'm keeping the Donnie Mitchell. Derek Carr, I don't trust him at all. Um,
Tough. It really is tough. You know what
I
I mean?
mean, if it was anybody, it'd probably be Rashid Shaheed. But
Same.
I would keep Adonai Mitchell, honestly. He should be the number 2 there.
Appreciate the message, man. Appreciate it. So yeah, looking at your lineup, I like it. You know, I don't really have any issues with it other than Devontae Adams getting a little older as well. Even though he's my guy, I love him. I can't wait to see him play this year. I'm in on Ramondre Stevenson. No problem, bud. Thanks for putting your message in there. We appreciate you being here. You know, but you got same situation too in your flesh. You got Javonte Williams sitting there. Herbert though, solid. You're hoping for big things, but you actually have some other. It's funny enough. You actually have Corum on your bench. You've
Mhm.
got Jerome Ford, which he's going to play the first 4 games. He's a starter. I mean, he's going to be there, right?
I'm expecting more than 4 games out of him. I mean, you're looking at best case scenario.
4 games. Yeah,
Nick
that.
Chubb back week 5, right?
Yep.
But the dude's he had his legs ripped off last year, essentially.
It was
Like
so gruesome. It was awful. It was so damn terrible, and they showed it more than once. And I
he
was like, this
can
is absurd.
and he's not older. He's not, but he's a little bit older. You know, he's gone through this whole knee injury thing before. Um, he might not have it when he comes back, but we've seen what Jerome Ford has, and I like it.
Yeah,
So especially for a bench guy, right?
yeah,
He's a guy that's on my bench that honestly I'm probably end up going to be rolling with him over Javonte Williams in week 1.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, I don't see you rolling out Javonte Williams there. Like I just said, you know, you're going to have those at least 1 or 2 other guys that are available that you're going to put in your flex before tomorrow. Here we go. For me, I got Dak Prescott, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nakua, Rashad White, Najee Harris, Evan Ingram, Keenan Allen, Jared Goff, Xavier Worthy, Austin Eckler, Justin Fields, Tyler Lockett, Tyler Algier, and Gabe Davis. I was like, I was gonna hit you up. I was like, did I draft Justin Fields? But I think I did because there was like really no one else around. And I was like, you know what? He's gonna be starting after like week 4. But for me, I'm nervous again about my wide receiver 1, Justin Jefferson. Terrified. I don't
it,
really have a concern about anybody else because Rashad White is actually very serviceable, especially in the league that we have. He puts up whatever it projects for him to put up. He puts up those numbers. Najee Harris, I think they started leaning on them. Pittsburgh started leaning on him more last year, and they realized, hey, this is the guy. Let's start going with him. Keenan Allen, I don't think he's going to get the start for me this week in my flex. It's going to be Worthy or Eckler, just because. But yeah,
I,
I just said we just mentioned about DJ Moore. And we don't know who the guy is. And I love Keenan Allen, and I love DJ Moore. I'm a big fan of both of them for many years. I won my league with DJ Moore last year. You know what I'm saying? So, but just kind of
again, I'm looking at another one of your teams and your bench. Your bench scares. If that was my bench, I'd be stressed. Uh,
as long as the starters stay good, buddy, you don't have to
well,
worry about
you've got a backup quarterback. You've got Tyler Lockett again.
it.
Tyler Algier, they're actually looking to incorporate him a lot in the offense. We'll see. Gabe Davis it's always supposed to be his year. He's Mike Williams without the injuries, right? It's
Yeah.
always supposed to be his year, and it's never his year. Austin Eckler's already come out and said he doesn't want the ball as much as he normally gets it.
Did
So
you
that
believe that?
worries me. And Xavier Worthy, I like Xavier Worthy. He's a rookie though,
Yeah.
you know.
I want that rookie for sure, especially for this. I think he has more options, but like some of them are having some legal problems. And so now it's like, okay, well, Worthy, I think the speedster, I think let's give it to the kid. But yeah, it's like, oh my god, dude, what position I draft out of this year? Was it 4 or 5, 5 or 6?
I don't remember.
I don't know. We were kind of down on the list again. For some reason, we always draft right next to each other. I don't know. I don't know what the deal
Oh,
is.
I had the number. Which is this the
It's
strikeout
for
beer league?
yeah, for SB fantasy football.
Yeah, I had like the number 2 pick
Oh,
because I got
okay.
Josh Allen
Ah, there you go.
because Joe Burrow went 1-1.
Did he really?
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
I don't remember the league that much. I mean, I remember being very excited because it's draft day, right? And
right.
so I was kind of, tying one on a little bit, having a little bit of fun. But yeah, I'm sitting there looking at it, I go, I don't know. And then I think Lizzie was sitting right here. I go, all right, what are we doing? Actually, that might have been another league. That might have been the sleeper league. Dude, I cannot keep up with all these stupid leagues. But yeah, I feel good. Dak Prescott, I had him last year. I feel good about Jared Goff as well. You know,
Oh
those
yeah,
two dudes will carry my team. And then, you know, uh, Puka right now is, projected to have more points by over 120 points more than Justin Jefferson. Like, Jettis ain't going to be my number one guy at the end of the year, apparently, but I hope he is. I
we'll
hate that
see.
I got stuck into like drafting him because I have no interest in drafting him. I didn't want to draft him. That's one of the guys I said I don't want, but he falls so far down. Then all of a sudden you're like, I mean, I got to take him.
Yeah,
And so,
you you've got to hope for some guys to produce a little bit more than what would be expected out of them with your running back room. I think I do like Rashid White, Najee Harris. I'm on the record of not being a big fan of, and then you've got Eckler and Algier, right? Um, maybe you shouldn't have drafted that second defense. Maybe got another running back. I don't know.
I think that's all towards the end too. I was like, all right, well, I'll just get another one. I didn't even know it. I was about to hit you up. I go, there's no way I drafted 2 defenses.
You
It's
did,
like,
you
why?
did,
I
and the
gotta
fact that you haven't dropped one yet, I don't know why. Um, but also like you drafted the Bengals defense before you drafted the Jets defense. So maybe it was like a makeup draft pick because you're like, crap, did I really just draft the Bengals defense?
Well, they're playing the New England week 1. And so the Jets are playing
They
San
are.
Francisco.
They
Yeah.
are. And we'll
Yeah.
talk about this on Strikeout Beer.
Yeah.
But you know who's really bad week 1?
Yeah, the Bengals.
The
But
Bengals.
as long as you get, some stops or whatever, it might be like a 10-7 game. You know what I'm saying? And especially
Yeah.
when Jamar Chase not playing. Good God. All right, let's get out of here.
Oh, buddy.
How
Oh,
you
buddy.
feeling overall though? You feel overall good?
Overall, I feel good. Like I say it and I say it and I say it. I mean it. I'm not just trying to speak it into existence. I do feel really good about my teams this year. Um, I didn't do a ton of draft prep this year. I
Mhm.
just kind of said, you know what? Let's just go into it. Let's have some fun. Let's see where guys fall. Like I said, I had some picks I wasn't super excited about. Tony Pollard. But I had some other picks. Getting Justin Herbert as late as I did in all my drafts, I'm super excited about that. Again, I'm predicting a top 5 finish for Justin Herbert this year in fantasy. So
I mean, eventually it has to come true, right? You've been predicting it for like the last 4 years.
well,
So,
it usually does come true, other
you've been
than last year. So back off,
you've been
okay?
predicting for a while.
Just
You've been
just
on the
step
guy.
off,
Yeah.
okay? He had a bad year last year, but before that, he's pretty darn good, okay?
We're waiting for the guy to
He's
come through,
he's
man.
been the cat's meow. He's the bee's knees, okay? So step off. You leave Justin
Run.
Herbert alone.
God.
Oh, man. But you know what, guys? Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you. Fantasy football season's here, guys. You expect to see our faces a lot. Sometimes it might just be Rapid Dave. Sometimes it's going to be just me. Sometimes it's going to be both of us, our forces combined. Like 5 mini cats that form up to one super cat. But get ready because we're getting into it. And if you want some exclusive type content, guys, go check us out on our Patreon page at Strikeout Beer, patreon.com/strikeout beer. It's just the Strikeout Beer. This all falls under the Strikeout Beer umbrella. If you want just some more content from us, you just like us, check us out at Strikeout Beer. We go live Wednesdays after this show. So we'll be going live there here in probably about like 5 minutes. We'll be live again. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, all that fun stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching us. We appreciate you. Hey, are you ready for some football? I know I am. Let's fucking go. As
Ooh.
always, I'm Alan.
I'm RT.
We'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.